got Stephanie White praising Caitlin Clark. Did hell freeze over somewhere I don't know about? I don't know. We'll see. But she actually made some very nice comments, I guess, about Caitlin Clark today.
Social media got quiet when Stephanie White, who's always careful with her words, suddenly became a big supporter of Caitlin Clark. Fans, used to her speaking cautiously about Clark, were surprised when White openly praised Clark as a generational talent and admitted the Fever weren't the same team without her. It felt almost unreal, like seeing someone completely change their mind about something they never believed in. White explained how Clark affects the defense, saying just her presence on the floor forces opponents to change and gives more space to her teammates. When White said the Fever are that much more dangerous with Clark on the court, fans everywhere started talking. But this wasn't the biggest shock. What happened next caught everyone off guard. White didn't stop at the usual compliments. She shared what it's really like to coach a player like Clark, saying a generational talent can change an entire franchise. She talked about Indiana basketball pride and how coaching Clark brought back that excitement, which made longtime Fever fans really emotional. Her words made it seem like the team was about to change completely since Clark's skills and decision-making make everyone better. It felt like White had changed her view. Now, she wasn't just talking about Clark as a scorer, but as a true leader who stands out in every play. The fact that the same coach who used to seem cold was now celebrating Clark's impact made fans wonder if this was all part of a bigger plan. That's when things took another unexpected turn. As the interview went on, White admitted something that analysts had whispered about but coaches rarely say. Without Clark, the Fever are just not the same. She explained how Clark's presence creates spacing, helps teammates get better shots, and how the team can run offensive plays that simply don't work without her. This was the most honest she had been about team strategy, and rival teams started paying attention. The idea that Clark could turn an average offense into something really dangerous made fans debate online, joking that maybe hell had frozen over for White to finally give so much praise. But White still wasn't done surprising people. Just when everyone thought it was over, something else happened.
She was on with ESPN, and she made the following comments about the Fever, and I'm just going to jump because they're going to be talking about her.
And then being able to coach in this organization, it's been huge for me. I take a lot of pride in basketball in the state of Indiana. I take a lot of pride in this franchise and being a part of this franchise, and to be able to coach generational talent like Caitlin Clark. And, you know, we really do just have a great group of human beings and a strong group of women that are leading our organization.
And when Caitlin Clark does return to the floor, how is she going to help elevate this team even more down the stretch of the season?
Well, she demands so much gravity on the defensive end of the floor. She's constantly seeing multiple players, and she makes the right reads and makes the right plays for our group. So she's going to continue to allow us to stretch the floor. We're going to be able to, I think everybody else will be able to get more higher percentage looks because of what she demands on the defensive end of the floor. And she brings our own defensive versatility because of her length, because of her size. So we'll certainly look different. I think we'll be that much more dangerous on offense in particular.
Even with all the praise, there was still one big question for Fever fans. When is Caitlin Clark actually coming back? The coach's compliments only made the anticipation bigger, but nobody really knew when Clark would return. Some reports hinted that Clark was running full court at full speed, which meant she was past basic drills. Fans watched every blurry practice video looking for any sign of her signature moves, her step-back shot, or her quick first step. The more insiders mentioned her running, the more fans started to believe her return was getting close. But with no official return date, excitement mixed with frustration. It was the perfect recipe for endless guessing and rumors. And just when everyone was waiting and hoping, a new detail came out and changed the whole conversation.
I was very vocal when they lost her, and I've been very vocal since she's been out. This team is good. It is a good team. They should be winning the majority of their games.
Every piece of news, from practice videos of Clark in workout clothes to rumors of tough rehab, built the story of her steady recovery. Even tiny updates, like hearing she had started running full speed in the last few days, felt huge to fans desperate for positive news. The Fever community watched videos of Clark jogging up and down the court and held onto that hope, and the mood got more optimistic. Comments online were full of things like, "She looks ready," and "We need her back now." Social media boosted every single clip, making Clark's rehab go viral. It wasn't just about her working out. It was the hope people got from seeing Clark move like her old self again. Still, with every good sign, there was always a reminder. Clark hadn't practiced 5-on-5 yet, and she wouldn't return until the doctors said she could. That left everyone stuck between feeling hopeful and being careful, which only made the wait more intense. The cautious opinions came straight from the top. Stephanie White and the Fever front office made it clear. No matter how much everyone wanted Clark back, they would not risk her long-term health just to get her on the floor quickly. They kept saying she had to be 100% before returning, even though TV ratings were down and ticket buyers kept asking for her. Some fans thought the team was being too protective, while others agreed with the careful approach. In the WNBA, one bad injury can mess up a team's whole future, so making health the priority made sense to many experts. Still, every day without a return date made fans more impatient, and the pressure on White to win, no matter what, kept growing. Trying to protect a superstar while also pleasing the fans only added to the drama, and this challenge was just the start of the Fever's problems.
Stephanie White says there still is no timetable for her return. Quote, "The most important thing for us is Caitlin's long-term health, getting her back to 100% before we put her back on the floor."
Those 12 games left before the playoffs became a huge focus for fans. Longtime basketball watchers remembered how important it is for a star to get real game reps after being out, and many compared this to last season. Back then, Clark got some rest late in the year, came back fresh, and went on a scoring streak. Now, if she can return by mid-August, she'll have just enough time to get used to new head coach Stephanie White and work on her pick-and-roll game with Aaliyah Boston. Sports experts argued over whether 12 games would be enough for Indiana to move up in the standings, especially since other playoff teams were already playing their best basketball. Meanwhile, rival teams started worrying about the idea of facing Clark healthy and rested in the first round of the playoffs. The countdown on the calendar made the story even more dramatic, but what happened last time Clark returned after a break is a clue for what might happen now, and that memory is enough to make Indiana's opponents nervous. To see why everyone is worried about Clark coming back, just look at what happened after her last long break. When Clark was left off the Olympic team and had to sit out, she returned to the WNBA with a huge chip on her shoulder and started breaking records. Her scoring average jumped by almost 3 points a game. She dished out more assists than ever and made defenders look helpless. Analysts called her performance scorched earth because she played with so much intensity. Opposing coaches tried to come up with new ways to stop her, but she kept hitting three-pointers from deep. That period of dominance set the standard for what fans expect now. When Clark is rested and motivated, she's nearly unstoppable. Just remembering that run makes other teams lose sleep. But as fun as those highlights were, they also raised bigger questions about how coaching style and team system affect Clark.
Around the idea of this August 12th game, okay? But this Dallas Wings game on Tuesday the 12th, I think kind of launches them in.
During that hot streak after her last break, another thing became clear. Clark plays her best when her coach totally trusts her. Last year, Christy Sides gave Clark the freedom to control the offense, and the Fever beat some of the league's top teams. Clark was able to improvise, attack mismatches, and make crazy passes that fans called Clark Magic. Fans loved watching her throw no-look passes across the court and hit teammates in stride. Now people are asking if Stephanie White will let Clark play with that same freedom or if she'll try to keep her inside a strict system. There's a real debate about whether to let a generational talent play on instinct or to stick with a set plan, and this could decide how the Fever's season goes. And these coaching questions lead right into the next big issue for the team. Clark's impact on offense doesn't just show up in her own stats. It also means her teammates have to adjust their roles. Kelsey Mitchell, who's a tough scorer, played great while Clark was out, taking more shots and handling big moments. With Clark coming back, Mitchell won't get the ball as much. Some people think that could cause problems or require Mitchell to be more selfless. Social media is full of arguments. Should Mitchell keep shooting as much as before, even when Clark returns? Or should she let Clark take over since Clark's presence creates open shots for everyone? This debate is really about ego and sacrifice, and it plays out in every game as fans watch closely. On the other hand, Aaliyah Boston's game gets even better when Clark is on the court. Pick-and-roll plays become easy buckets, and high-low passes turn into highlights. How Boston and Mitchell adapt their roles will be one of the biggest stories of the season. And just when you think you've figured out how the team will work together, something else changes.
Last year, she was, of course, did not make the Olympic team. We think she should have. But that allowed her to have a long break. Anybody remember that? Because the entire league was shut down while the Olympics was going on. Well, when she came back from that break, she went scorched earth. She went nuclear.
It's not just the main stars who feel the effects. Role players like Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham will get more open shots thanks to all the attention Clark draws from defenses, looks they didn't get much when Clark was out. On the flip side, players who had more chances with Clark gone will have to adjust, learning to cut without the ball or play tougher defense. Getting everyone to work together isn't just about making room for Clark, it's about building an offense where every player knows their job and does it well. In team meetings and film study, coaches will stress patience and spacing, telling shooters to always be ready. Veteran players like Natasha Howard will have to keep everyone focused and prevent arguments over shot attempts from hurting team unity. Finding the right chemistry could make Indiana a powerhouse, or, if things go wrong, a warning for other teams. Fans watch every play, knowing it could show either great teamwork or trouble behind the scenes. And just when you think the story is settled, the stakes only get higher. While everyone debates who should be in the lineup, there's one thing nobody can deny. This Fever roster is loaded. Even when Clark was out, the Fever won 5 games in a row thanks to the combined efforts of Boston, Mitchell, and some underrated teammates. Experts said that with this much talent, Indiana should be winning 3 out of every 4 games. The message was clear. Indiana isn't just an underdog anymore. They could be real contenders. Some people say just keeping the team average isn't good enough with this much talent. They believe coaching should push the team higher, not just keep things steady. That puts extra pressure on the star players and the coaches. The bar is high, and anything less than winning a lot of games brings criticism. Still, the team's quiet confidence shows they think something special is coming. The real question is whether high expectations will make them better or weigh them down.
But some things will have to change. Kelsey Mitchell won't get as many shots as she's been used to get. It's one of the reasons why we've seen Kelsey's numbers go up. Well, Caitlin's been out, so Kelsey's getting part of the shot attempts that would have went to Caitlin Clark. So you got to remember that. You got to keep that in perspective. And yeah, Kelsey Mitchell has been killing it until 2 of the last 3 games.
That 5-game win streak was impressive, but some people pointed out it came against teams that were still figuring things out. Critics said the Fever's hot streak might be more about weak competition than how good Indiana really is. But Fever fans pushed back, saying you can only play who's in front of you, and winning games builds good habits no matter what. This back-and-forth argument is part of a bigger debate about how to judge success. Should it just be about wins and losses, or does the context of each win matter? Stephanie White was careful not to dismiss any win, but she also admitted the team still has a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, fans went through emotional swings, celebrating every win but also getting anxious after every loss, knowing one bad game could start doubts all over again. The constant tension between excitement and worry keeps fans engaged and makes the story of the Fever interesting as ever. As Clark's return gets closer, everyone wants to know, can the Fever move from beating average teams to taking down real contenders? We're about to find out, and the timing couldn't be more important. Even though the Fever have a lot of talent, the road to a championship is tough. Most analysts agree Indiana should make the playoffs, but a title seems like a long shot this season. Clark's injury, not much time to build chemistry with a new coach, and other strong teams all make things difficult. But not winning a championship doesn't mean the season is a failure. Many people say just making the playoffs and maybe winning a series would be big progress. Fans are split between wanting immediate results and understanding that it takes time to grow, especially when adding a superstar back into the lineup. Online, people argue about whether the Fever should focus on building for the future or try to win right now. The WNBA is full of dynasties, so climbing from the middle of the pack to the top is a journey, not a quick jump. The Fever are at a turning point. Should they trust the process and build, or try to fast-track success? That choice is at the heart of the team's story.
I don't see this team winning a title this year. I don't. And I think a lot of it is because Caitlin Clark got hurt and the gelling of the team. Stephanie White still trying to work out how to use Caitlin Clark. but I certainly could see them making the playoffs and winning a series.
This question of what counts as success comes up again and again. Some fans feel anything less than a championship is a letdown with Caitlin Clark on the roster. Others take a more patient view, saying it takes time to build a winning team culture. Stephanie White tries to balance both ideas, praising the team for every step forward but still aiming high. Inside the locker room, the message shifts between "we can surprise everyone" and "stay focused and humble." That balancing act gets harder because other teams like the Liberty and Aces are getting better too, and Indiana has no margin for error. As the Fever chase a playoff spot, they know any mistake could mean going home early. This tension between dreaming big and staying realistic fuels endless debates and keeps the Fever one of the WNBA's most watched teams. Underneath all the talk, there's a fact that worries the whole league. When Caitlin Clark plays, the Fever are a completely different team. Coaches who prepare to face her spend extra time trying to come up with ways to slow her down, but she still finds ways to break defenses. Players who enjoyed easier games when Clark was out know that's about to change. The sense that Indiana is that much more dangerous with Clark is real, and you can feel the anticipation around the WNBA. Even rival fans are joking online, asking if Clark can sit out longer or stay out until next season. Whether it's out of fear or respect, the message is the same. Everything changes once Clark is back. As the countdown continues, the entire league is waiting for a shakeup. No one knows exactly what will happen when the league's most dynamic player returns, but everyone knows it could change the season.
Nice to hear Stephanie White understands the team is actually more dangerous with, the most dynamic player in the league back. Let's see how this goes.
The last chapter of this story hasn't been written yet. It will unfold as Clark actually steps back onto the court and everyone sees if she can still control games like before. Fans are already picturing the moment, the roar of the crowd, Clark's first smooth three-pointer, her confident smile showing she's right where she belongs. It's a scene full of emotion and excitement, the kind of thing that makes people love sports. But this moment isn't just about one superstar's comeback. It's about a team trying to find a new identity, a league entering its next era, and a coach learning to fully trust a once-in-a-generation talent. As the Fever get ready for their brightest moment yet, one thing is sure: whatever happens next, it's going to be unforgettable.